The person that is the most accurate on solving this was the most decorated military man in, I believe it was 1935, and his name was, I believe it was Brigadier General Butler, and he proposed that no military person be allowed more than 500 miles from our continental borders. No, it's 200 miles for the people and 500 miles for airplanes. And what I would add to that is that we would maybe double our nuclear submarine fleet and put them on patrol all over the world, and notify everybody that they're out there on patrol and that they contain ballistic nuclear weapons, and they're there just in case you decide you want to do something to the United States. Because we're not going to send our airplanes or our soldiers over there to get you. We'll just lob a little grenade in your back pocket. And they're going to cross either the Atlantic or the Pacific to get to us. And if we bring all of our Navy back and put them in dock on our shores, and we've got all these submarines out there. And another thing I would allow then would be drones and tankers to refuel drones. And then we could have these unmanned drones traveling all over the world, checking on people. And so if they shoot it down, maybe it's just $1 million, but we hadn't lost somebody's life. But we can just tell everybody that we trust you, but we're going to verify. And we're going to be watching you. And if you decide to do us harm, we're really going to hurt you. And then the whole world would settle down. The next area that I covered in the book is the energy crisis. If you look at the TV and magazines and so forth, particularly on television, they show a car digging out and really zooming around and throwing up rocks here and there. And they're trying to tell you that you want a car with a lot of acceleration and a lot of speed. Now, why do you need that? In fact, let's look at some examples. Bugatti Veyron V16 has a 1,001 horsepower engine, top speed of 250 miles an hour plus. It weighs just a little over 4,000 pounds. The gas mileage is 2.4 miles per gallon, but it'll go 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds.
Wow.
Now, and there's lesser examples of that, but that's the top example. But I was telling one of our friends that, you know, what we need to do is we don't really need to go that fast, and we don't need to accelerate that fast. And I said, what if we pass a law saying that all cars manufactured and imported in the United States had an absolute top speed of 70 miles an hour, and then set the speed limit at 60 miles an hour, and then have graduated fines if you exceed 60. And this person said, I don't want the government telling me how fast I'm going, or I can go. So they tell you every day, drive down the interstate highway, it says 60 speed limit, 70 speed limit. That's the federal government telling you how fast you can go. in my age, they've changed the speed limit in my area to 60 miles an hour, and so I drive with cruise control. When I see a speed limit, I set it on that, and I will not exceed that. And I get to town just about as fast as I would before. And if you need to get there a little quicker, leave a little earlier. But why do you need to go over 60? And why do you need to go from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds? What if you could get 0 to 60 in 12 seconds? Well, I mean, you won't burn rubber, but you're not going to use up a lot of gasoline. Now, another effect that it has is you cut the size of engine in half, because you don't need all that horsepower, because you don't go to 120 miles an hour. The law sets it so you physically can't go over 70 miles an hour, so you cut your horsepower in half. You don't need to burn rubber, so that with cutting down the acceleration and the top speed will cut your fuel consumption in half, so you can easily get 50 miles a gallon in a standard internal combustion engine. Now, what about the hybrids and the all-electric cars? They have to have a pretty large battery, maybe the size of this table. So if you cut down the top speed and you cut down the acceleration rate, you cut the size of that battery in half. And so that you can charge it quicker, it costs less. And think about all the faster you go, the more damage you're likely to incur in an accident, the more likelihood of physical harm or death, the faster you go. So deaths and injuries and personal property damage would cut way down, maybe in half. And all it costs is some new signs with different speed limits on them. And Congress passed a law, and it's all over. Now, they say that a lot of people are saying that we're running out of natural gas and oil in the United States and in the entire world. And they've created charts saying that we've been going up like this, and then we're going to reach a peak. Some predict the peak is 2008, and then we're going to steady decline until we completely run out of oil and gas. That's all a big lie. They have discovered new oil fields south of Canada within the United States borders that contain enough natural gas to allow it to, if everybody converted from electric heating to gas heating, to do it for another 300 years. And enough oil can be produced in fields that within the continental United States that would completely eliminate the importation of oil, and would have enough oil to last for another 500 years. But the oil companies have not built a new refinery, I believe, since 1976 or something like that. And the number of refineries in the United States has been cut almost in half since '76. And so they're not going to build another refinery because they're very expensive, and also they would rather import refined products. So with taxpayer money, we built the Hoover Dam. We built a number of dams around the country. We created the Tennessee Valley Authority. So why don't we take taxpayers' money? Of course, if we do everything I said before, there won't be any taxpayer money, but it'd be run out of government funds. But they've already approved a natural gas pipeline from Prudhoe Bay